Hello and welcome back to Handheld Computing. Today I'm doing a follow-up review, a user experience if you like, of the Rex 6000. This is a PC card size PDA with full PIM functionalities. You can see the original overview just here. I've been using it with this case. It's been really handy. There's a slot for a card and everything can be paid on card these days. Inside there's a holder for some paper so you can write notes, and I combined it with this stylus which doubles as a biro. Sadly, while I was moving, I didn't take enough care, it would seem, and this happened. So obviously I just wrote to Zycrom and asked for a new sample so that I could continue the review. And they informed me that they'd sold the rights to Intel in 2002 and it was currently out of production. There's a shocker. I did try and get another one, but they are like hen's teeth. However, I do own one other, and the one that I've ruined I bought as a replacement for this because it has a screen blemish. However, it does work, it's fully functional, and I would love to show you some of the things you can actually do with one of these. So let's continue the review. So first things first, we need to install the Intellisync software. I'm using version 1.01, which is the latest version I could find. There's a link below. The original disk is also linked below, so feel free to have a look at that. This does appear to run slightly faster. Before installing, we need to pop the Rex into the drive. I'm just going to unlock it as well, and we'll pop it in. So let's get this installed. So I'm going to use the Intellisync mobile desktop, and just because I use Outlook 2007 and it's not compatible, we always get this error. I'm not sure if it's an issue with something else I have installed, but you'll see it causes an issue later. Ultimately, this software wasn't designed for Windows XP, it was designed for Millennium at most. So we'll finish that. There's a bit of a README pop-up. Next thing, we need to actually install the drivers because it's not part of the initial software package, and weirdly there's no link on here for it, so we need to go into the drivers. So we unzip the file to here, Zycrom, and we need to go into this one, Rex Hardware and Docs, and you'll see a setup program here. So we're going to double tap that. And that should install the drivers. All being well, we should be ready to do a synchronization. So we're just going to not bother syncing with the rex.net sync because it doesn't exist anymore. Save that as default. We'll just click configure and see what options we've got. Super. So it's found the Rex. So first of all, we can change our settings to Microsoft Outlook if we wish. And then down here, if we go to advanced, you can choose whether or not you want confirmations on deletion and confirmations on addition. And then we've got conflict resolution. So do you want them to notify you, or does one win or the other? So I'm going to put the mobile desktop wins. There's a field mapping option because this is the contacts, so you can alter the way that they sync because the Rex doesn't contain all the fields. So that's fine, and we'll hit OK. And we're not interested in that, so don't show it again. Memo, and we've got the same options. We can sync with Outlook or not, and then we can move to advanced. We get confirmations, conflict resolution, and on this one I'm going to put the Rex wins. Browse allows you to move the folder, so you can actually store your memos in a different folder if you wish. We're not going to do that. So that's enough configuring. Let's do a sync. So because I've put a pin on the device, it wants my passkey. So now we've synced some data, let's have a look at the desktop itself. So this is your Intellisync mobile desktop. Let it boot. So default start is with the contacts list. As you can see, I've put a couple in here just so you can see. It's very easy to add. You just add a new one, put your details in, it'll sync next time you do it. there's not too many other options. In terms of the calendar, so again, I've put some options in. You can display the week, you can display monthly, and you can display just the day. Unfortunately, on Windows XP and when I attempted to install it on Windows 10, this application crashes. So what happens is if I try and put a new entry in, we get an error message and it kicks us out. Thankfully, for all the other tools, it's fine. So adding a new to-do, absolutely no problem. Done. And that'll be added next time we sync. So really easy, and notes the same. It's very easy to add new notes. Let's talk about applications. So you want to install an application, you don't do it through the Intellisync software. Instead, you need to take the application, and for this example, and I've already installed some of course, I'm going to use Pacman. So this is the one we're going to use. I'm just going to copy this file. So the file then needs to be put into the Rex Tools folder. Yes, you have to go into your system folder, into your program folder, and then you need to go down into Rex 6000, then into Rex Tools, and in here you can paste your plugins. So there we are, and we're going to try and install Pacman. So we'll head back out. We need to start Rex Tools. So in this screen, you can see any applications already installed. So I've got Adder, and I'll explain what that is in a moment, and Find. There are some others that are pictures, some are drawings and bits and bobs. But basically, what you're going to do is open your Tools folder. You need to go to Plugins, select the one you want. Yes, of course, we want to add it. So there we are, that's been added. Not exactly fast. I've put a ton of other applications on, and we'll have a look at those next. So once again, sorry about the blemish. I'm just going to run through a couple of things that I did miss on the previous overview. So there is a third view. So tapping on here shows you any appointments today and all your to-dos that are due. So wasn't aware of that when I did the original review, but there it is. If we head into extras, we can see there's Pacman that I installed earlier. And we'll just give it a go so you can see how it works. So you can't quite see it, but there's up, down arrows here. So you just tap on the arrows and off you go. This is of course just a classic game. We all know how it works. There are more than one level on here though. I have completed this level a couple of times and there is more than one level. So it's, quite a good game. 2 minutes of entertainment, no problem. We're going to head out because I want to show you the best app I found. So first of all, it's kind of two apps. The first app is the web remover. So we've lost the web icon here. And then I've added the planner icon. So planner augments the calendar by adding a list of anything that's due. So when you tap it, it runs through your calendar application and just generates a list of what's going on. To be honest, this makes it much more usable. Without planner, it's very slow to move from date to date, but Planner just gives you a straightforward overview. Straight away you can see what's going on, and then you can go back into your calendar and do any adding or removing of appointments. So we'll head back to the home screen and back to extras. So the next one we'll look at is this one, Find. So this allows you to search for a string. So if I put note, and we're going to search for that, and we're going to look in all titles, and we're going to do memos. So this obviously speeds up finding memos. If you have a lot of memos, it's going to save you a lot of scrolling. So very useful app. Again, not exactly fast, but it gets there in the end. So there we are. We'll come out of there, and then you'll see there's one other Adder. So the trick with Adder is that actually it allows you to store more than the limit of 8 applications. So each one of these is another application. So let's have a look at a couple of the other things you can get for your Rex. So there's a Tetris game. This is played using the buttons. So left, right, rotate, and drop. So, classic Tetris game. Works quite well. It's a bit better if you don't have a big screen blemish, but I do, so never mind. That's how it is. We've got a stopwatch. This is actually quite a neat stopwatch. We've got various functions at the top, so you've got stopwatch, obviously start, stop, lap timers, and we've got a countdown timer. And of course we get a nice alarm when it finally ends. So you can see there's a few other things on here. We've got a little piano. And you can change octave. Very neat. Don't think you're going to be composing anything wonderful on there, but it is there. There's a ruler, because who doesn't need a ruler when you're out and about? And you can have centimetres or inches. Obviously not very many, because the screen's only small. There's a couple of other games. There's a classic snake game, Boggle. Tiny Draw is a little disappointing. So the screen, unfortunately, cannot keep up unless you draw very slowly. So it's no good for jotting down a quick number or a quick memo, which is a real shame because actually that would have been a great purpose for it. But here's one I did earlier. I've also got the classic game Othello on here. You can play against two people. You can have the Rex play itself. And the Rex won. Well done. So there's also a chess game. This comes in a 1-player and 2-player version. They're both separate, so it'll take up 2 of your blocks, but it's worth having a go. I'll just show you how you actually add a file. So we've added Pac-Man. So all you do is select what you want to add to the button. Adder then rewrites it into a separate section within the memory, and hey presto, Pac-Man is now here. And it's no longer on your extra screen. There's quite a few other programs out there. I have to say it's quite inventive the way they've done some of them, given that there's only 32k of RAM and 24 available for programs. All in all, I think we can agree that the Rex is a marvel of engineering and software design. It is let down a little bit by the fact you can't categorise the to-do list, and there's no easy way of scrolling through all the memos, so if you have a lot of notes it can be difficult. Obviously you can use the find function, which to speed things on, and the agenda is greatly improved by using the planner app. I'm going to keep an eye out for a replacement, see if I can't get one in better condition for my collection. But in the meantime, I'm going to have a look and see if I can locate a replacement screen for this, and actually if I can I'll replace this one as well. So I'm going to do a little bit of a teardown and see about that. At the same time, I might as well have a look and see if we can add a backlight. Things have moved on and the LEDs are much more powerful. We might need to squeeze slightly bigger batteries in, perhaps the CR2025, just to give it a bit more juice if we're going to be powering a backlight. But I think it looks possible. So watch this space, and perhaps that's a video coming sometime in the future. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit like or leave me a comment. I do like getting comments. If you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe and hit the reminder button so you don't miss my next video. My name is Hugh. This has been Handheld Computing. Thanks for watching.